record this one too. I see Corey, Swansby, Brad, online. Who else are we waiting on? Tyson was going to come up, I think.
John is in.
It's a little chilly in the office today.
Where we have all these bodies. Where we have
Should just be a couple more people coming in. We'll get started.
Cool. I didn't realize that turns into that.
Yeah, who made it. All right, Tyson. Are your people coming, Russ? Do you know or no?
I told John about it. Well, what is it? I said, no. Is it? No.
There we go. I think Tyson's lost.
Well, it went through testing so many times, and like you couldn't get it figured out, so I kind of gave up. No one's working on anything until next week because they're all out of college. So, no. I meant it when I said it's going to get done this year.
How's your own?
I believe
What's up, Jen?
How's your own?
What's up, Tyler?
Is Rob coming up or are we good?
He's coming up.
All right. One more person and we're going here. I didn't know I was supposed to invite him to these things. If you guys have other people that need to be invited to these, let me know.
Just Rob.
Rob?
Oh. You can always join remote too.
I think we just, we always forget people. So Danae hasn't been on these for the last 2 months, which is not good. So she's on here finally. So yeah, I'm sure there's other people in other departments that we haven't thought about adding that we should.
Do you have a joke plan for the intro?
A joke for the intro? No, I don't. I normally do. Yeah. Yeah, I assumed as much. All right, I think we're just going to go.
Okay. Jenny, would you mind shut that door?
Close that on my stuff. It's going to pop up in front of us here. About to finna. Yeah, it would be on. No, it's already on.
Is it?
Yeah. Never disturb me. All right. I think we have almost everyone here, so thanks everyone for coming again, and everyone who joined online. This is our third dealer fire specific sneak and release, which, as we've talked about in the past, is really just release at this point. If we sneak something, it means that it's basically done, or it should mean that it's done. We just need to release it, exactly. So we're not getting too far out ahead, so we're not going to be talking about stuff we're building in a month or 2 months. So this isn't all that we're working on. This is just the stuff that we were completed and is either out or just about to be out within the next week or a couple weeks. This session or this run in particular is going to be a little short. Russian holidays and our holidays kind of got in the way of us getting a lot more done than what we normally would. The Russian holiday schedule is pretty aggressive this time of year. So, for instance, they're off for the next 5 days. Yeah, basically, the first 1st through the 8th of January is their official national holiday. So, again, we just didn't get as much done as we normally would, just a short sprint. So with that, I think we still have a couple cool items to talk about. As always, we appreciate the feedback about the things that we're building, or if there's other ideas you want to bring up and whatnot. During this meeting, there's always obviously an open door policy with all of us. But anyway, with that, we can kind of get started, I suppose. Genevieve is up first. If you would like to. Can those of you on the line hear all right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You're coming up. We want to wait a second for him? Or? We'll just keep going.
Yeah.
We'll give him a personal.
All right. You want to do it quicker?
I can click in.
All right.
Tell me when.
So the first one I want to talk about is should be releasing early next week. Again, like Aaron said, because the programmers are on holiday right now, all the things that we finished last sprint are kind of on hold to actually go live, but they're all tested, ready to go. This is one that came in as a request from the content team. It's a fairly straightforward feature, so I'm not even going to open up and do a live demo for this one, but it's just a preview button within the page builder section. So as you're scrolling through that list of all of the pages you have the option for, and you're not sure if it's this one, that one, the preview button is just going to open a new tab, show you that window with that page. If you're navigating on it, you see like in this screenshot, the top one is colored a little bit different. You're not going to be able to click that one. That's just because the page is not live, so it won't open anything up or won't allow you to.
So it actually takes you to the page itself.
Correct.
The live version of the page.
The live
Okay.
version of the page.
Got it.
So if you wanted to preview it, you would just have to make it hidden and then you can preview.
Yeah, if you were building a page and wanted to see what it looked like in a live environment, that's how you
You
make
make it
use
hidden.
of that.
Okay, cool.
That's not what this was designed to solve for, but it also can be used for that. Cool.
Does this work with devs? Has anything tested with devs? Because right now it does not work. Because the links actually have a domain name.
Sure. Yeah.
This should probably work the same. So not working with devs.
But yeah, it wasn't necessarily this particular usage, and maybe Wes or whoever can talk to. It wasn't made to preview the design in a live environment. It's made to make sure you're getting into the right page when you want to edit a page. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's coming to where content is trying to change a page, and there's 3 or 4 of them. They're all Ford F-150s. They're not sure which one. Instead of opening up each and trying to navigate through and then do the demo, it's just to cut out 2 or 3 clicks. Okay. So if that's something you want, feel free to send a request to
Yeah.
Taylor.
It's
This one is specifically tailored to content team.
It's something we're trying to solve for on NG6 is adding the ability to see what, before you push something live, to be able to demo it in a live type environment, like a true preview.
Yeah, both options, both
Yeah.
that and what she's doing here would be very helpful.
Yeah, the second part will probably be more Engine 6, I'm guessing. But yeah, for now, this is at least a step in the right direction. I'll note that for you.
And the next one is a request from the analytics team. So as it was built, the Google Tag Manager input feature actually sorted the codes based on alphabetical order. So we've changed that so they will now appear on the website in the code in the order that you program them in. So if for some reason you need to change it, it does require you to delete and re-add the codes, but they will reference the order that they are appearing within that. So if you have any specific layers set up that you need them to show in a certain order, I know Kevin was working on some things that was running into issues, that'll also be going live early next week once they're back in the office.
Is there anything that you know that, so the actual layers can be thrown off by the order that it's
Correct.
coded on? Okay. Interesting.
Next one is the latest on the Ignite app. I know we've been talking about some of the new features we've been throwing in there lately with the leads and some expansion on the inventory side. This latest one was adding that Carfax widget into the app itself. So again, this is just a gradual expansion of the app, just next step, but it is going to be pushed live next week on Android and iOS.
Cool. This will be good. So we're actually going to pitch Audi on Friday, and one of the requirements of their RFP is a user-facing or a dealer-facing or salesperson-facing application that kind of merchandises the car. So this is a good step in that direction, continuing to enhance what you can see on this end so they can help use this to sell a car. So that's good.
Next one is the Crossfire DealerSocket ID field. Again, going live next week. This will be showing up under that website general info edit tab. It'll be under services. And this is going to be basically defining the DealerSocket site ID, so you can show it corresponding with our DealerFire site ID. Long story short, it's how we're aligning the two within our database for setting up Crossfire, instead of making Daniil manually go into the database every time.
You're welcome, Daniil.
He likes you.
That's all he did.
The last one, this one finished testing right now, so it will go live with the next sprint, but I wanted to preview it since they have finished the actual development work on it. Basically, it's some enhancements to that page builder specific to the templates. So right now, a few months ago, we added a few templates for the customers to use. This is going to be taking it a next further and making the templates at least more user-friendly. So it's going to be impacting how the templates appear. So instead of that awkward drop-down with the names, they're going to be scrolling icons. It's going to change how you create the templates and also the ability to go in and manage and edit the templates. I do want to note that it's not going to be where you can edit the content of the template. If you decide, oh, well, I want to move this picture down here, you have to create a brand new template. But what it is, you're renaming it, you're changing the basic image that you're referencing on it. So it's just kind of more housekeeping sort of edits. But on the next couple of slides, just want to show you a preview of what that looks like. So for creating the template, it's going to look fairly similar to what we do now, where nothing shows up unless you click that checkbox for save as new template. Then it's going to make you name it and also decide on the visibility, whether it's just the person who creates it who sees it or everyone in their company. And then it gives you an option to upload an image. For the existing templates we have, we're going with just a screenshot of what the top of your template looks like, just something quick that you can use to reference so you know which one it is. So this might come in handy too for the content team where they have all of the naming. So at least a quick image that'll help you define which template is which.
This specifically was a huge issue for JD Rucker, who's an industry consultant, had talked to you and I about the reason they weren't referring as many clients as they would is just because we didn't have templates available in our back end. So then we said, well, we can build you some templates, right? So I think this will
Because the
probably get us some new
agencies
business.
that are, working as a value add to the dealer, like they want to be able to do a lot in our back end, including build pages. And so the page builder with lots of fancy templates and thumbnails makes it
And
more
this will help them reference, was it 12 or 14 templates that we created? They are very basic templates. They're definitely not as robust as our CLP and our things that we charge for with the content team, but it's a good starting base for those that don't know how to do anything on building the page. On the next slide is basically what those icons will look like across the top. So this is going to go right in place of where that drop-down box is.
nice.
And it'll change a little bit. Instead of clicking on the template, seeing the load option, when you mouse over, you'll see the option to either load it or edit it. And you'll only see the edit option if you were the creator of the template. So that's where you can also delete the template. So the last slide is basically what the edit template looks like. That's where you can change that preview image, change the name of it, or just delete the template entirely.
It's pretty cool.
That makes sense what you just saw. So this is what happens when you want to create a template. So upon creating a template and saving it, you put an image in there. Once you save the template, this is what it looks like for somebody else to select it if they have access to see it.
How are the templates organized on that last screen? Is this alphabetical order or order in which they were created?
They're defaulting to alphabetical order.
I mean,
This is
technically,
the mock-up image.
this should come
but
before this one then.
It's a
I'm
mock-up.
just messing with
Leave it
that.
alone.
I'm just curious because like we have 14 and like you have like an eager beaver internet manager that adds like 12. I don't know, like is it gonna, they have to cycle through 4 at a time?
You're going to want to put the letter A in front of your
Yeah.
template.
You'll even, I wonder if it works numerically as well. If it's alphanumeric.
Okay, cool.
Because you could just
It
number
does.
it. Yeah.
And for my benefit, what's this template? What does it really represent? Is it a page? Is it more of an ad? Is it help educate me on what this template is, what the templates are?
Sure, it's actual page layout. So similar to like if you were to get in WordPress or any other CMS, it's if you just want to build a page for a new model that's coming in or a special sale that you have, it's actually adding a URL to the site for people to access this directly. And it could be, again, for anything, including a special event you have going on, a community.
Our community
thing.
service page, the internet manager wants to be able to manage their events that they're doing, and they need a page template and a way to add little information about stuff.
Yep, internally we use this system and have used it in the past. We have our own templates that we use that the content team launches. We charge like $350 per landing page, which includes the content images and whatever. We built it custom, but then our customers would complain that our page builder wasn't robust enough for them to be able to use it because you had to basically know at least HTML, probably CSS, and be able to write inline styles to be able to effectively use it. So we just built in a quick way without having to rebuild the entire page editor to let people simply build pages.
Okay, and then do you guys manage a set of publicly available templates that all the dealers can use, or do you build?
That was like 2 sprints ago, I want to say, maybe 3, that we finally added, I think 12 to 14 templates that we are now publishing to all of our Ignite users that they can access. And then our content team has a special set that only they can see that are a little more advanced.
This will be available to
Everybody.
customers
Yeah.
and content team, depending on what templates they have access
Yeah, so this
to.
interface will be global. It'll just depend on your ACL rights and who can see which templates that show up. But there will be, I believe, again, 12 to 14 that will be universally available to everybody, including all clients.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yep. Is that it, Genevieve?
That is it.
All right, cool. Next is Eric Giroux talking about some Engine 5 stuff.
First one is recently viewed vehicles. So you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with the saved vehicles module. You can click the little disk or hit save on a VDP or an SRP, and it pops up that little dialogue at the bottom right of the web page, or if you're on mobile, the very bottom, and it kind of follows you throughout your site visit. Well, now we're using that same interface and adding a tab for recently viewed vehicles that will automatically show up after you view a VDP. So if you haven't saved any vehicles, this tab won't even exist. Would you like to see it in action?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good looking site. Did you design that?
No. Programming team did. What is that? Oh, you got that pressure sensitive. Okay.
You get like click.
Okay, so click a car, you go to some other page, bam, I've got a viewed vehicle. Let's get another one. Go back to the SRP. That would drive me nuts.
You just gotta know how to use a computer.
Yeah. Okay, so as you view VDPs, the cars that you viewed are added to this dialog. From here, I can select the ones that I'd like to compare, or I can add them to my saved vehicles.
How do you remove it?
You cannot remove viewed vehicles.
Recently, yeah, it's just a
Okay,
running
what's
list.
the limit?
15. It'll save up to 15.
You're all thinking the same thing I am.
What?
I'm thinking that's never gonna affect screen. It'll have a scroll, right?
It'll have a
It's gonna
scroll. I could sit and click through a bunch for you, but yeah, it'll occupy. I don't know. It'll
Set
show.
container, it's really container.
Any problem with performance on this since we're being a lot more?
And none so far. I mean, hopefully you guys will tell us if there is.
We'll find that out in the first.
Yeah, it'll be a learning experience.
So this is obviously, you can see it's nearly good to go. 2 things that I'm having programming or requesting programming do before it releases. The first, you may have noticed that when I view a VDP, It does not actually add to my viewed vehicles until I leave that page. So I think it's more intuitive to add it as soon as you view the VDP. I would also like there to be some little CSS jiggle or animation whenever that number changes, just to let you know that, hey, there's a new vehicle here.
This is also on Audi's RFP. They want the ability to, 1, save vehicles, 2, compile recently viewed, and then 3, which would be the next iteration, probably is the ability to sign up for price alerts on any of these things. So right now we have like a weird price alert system built into the VDP. So another option with save would be like maybe a checkbox or something, a call to action somewhere to be like, send me price alerts or something within the module. You don't have to. I just thought it would be logical. If you have a saved vehicle section, like there should be like a toolbox to do things with those. You know what I mean?
Right now all you can do is compare.
Exactly. So I think the next further down the line, we just add that functionality to that specifically. Would be nice.
Real quick question. Pop open that viewed again. What price is being called out of there?
The final price that's displayed.
Okay, so no matter what, if we do a custom,
It's using price HTML, so it should be pulling whatever's
okay,
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're using this broken dev site, so I can't really show you. So it's just saying call for price, but
will it be a separate section of the price, or is it going to be?
It'll probably be configurable. We'll have to work with programming to see what they added any configuration options or what we need to do to.
It'd be cool if it just pulled it from the VDP one. But
I'm 99% sure that's
I'm
something.
pretty sure that's what the criteria says.
cool.
But anyway, so adding those couple little things that I mentioned, go through final QA, and we can't hide any part of the model name. What are you talking about, Corey?
So on your mockup, if you go back to your presentation, there's ellipses covering. So you have to go back to your presentation. So like right there, you just have the JE and then all the ellipses. You can't do that. So like in that one, it's showing the images, where on this one is not. So on the live side, it's fine. Just your mockup is showing it cut off, which you can't do.
Good to know. Okay. That is the mock. I have not ran into a scenario where we've got a super long one.
Is it just model or is it trim? Or are we calling trim?
Well, like this one, let's try this one. This is a Mazda 3-speed Sport. Go back.
I mean, depending on the OEM, you're going to run into, like Honda, you'll have to have the trim to show up. But
Okay.
Yeah, we can
No.
use that 2 lines if we have to for the description. Take a little bit.
Yeah, let me give me just. Thank you, Corey. I'm going to note that. So have to include the entire trim. Okay, cool. I'll go to the next one. If you wanted to tinker with it, it's on Labs 50, but as you can tell, just a few more things to do there. This one was snuck last time, but we do have this on a dev site now. We've talked a lot about the manage offers module within Ignite, where you can go in and input lease or finance offers for vehicles. There will now be a configuration option in Builder that will allow you to display those offers across all qualifying inventory, both on the SRP and on the VDP. So next to any time a vehicle shows up that has an offer that it qualifies for, there will be a text link that will give you this pop-up, and it's the same pop-up with the details of the offer that we're using across all of the manage offers module. So that's the SRP display, and then it'll be beneath the price block on the VDP.
Hey, Eric.
Yep.
Do you guys manually put those managed offers in? Is that something we do, or something the customer does, or do we get those from the manufacturers, or how does that work?
It kind of all of the above. So right now there is no system that's automatically mapping any offers from, say, a CSV file or any sort of feed to put them directly into the manage offers system. So now it is, yes, manual, meaning someone on the web services team would have to do it, or the customer can do it within Ignite. And the next step after we finish another portion of this, one of our Q1 goals just internally is to get them to automatically map for one manufacturer. We will start with Volkswagen. We receive these offers from each manufacturer a little bit differently, so we can't yet necessarily create a universal mapping system, but we want to just kind of start chipping away at it with our OEM partnerships with Volkswagen, because we have the most dealers enrolled through that program. So those will get sent from Shift, and then we'll try to automatically map them onto qualifying inventory.
Okay, and I presume that these managed offers are different than, you know, the manufacturer's incentive plans, or are they similar? Meaning, you know, $2,000 cash back, you know, or 0% financing. Are those different, or are they kind of the same thing?
The same thing. Right now, our module only will allow us to display a lease offer or a finance offer. It does not yet accommodate a bonus cash or cash back offer. But if the incentives from the manufacturer are a lease or finance offer, then
Another module that would handle those, right? Price rules.
Price rules would be bonus cash. So we figure that bonus cash or, you know, automatic cash back is more of a function of the price you pay. So that would be something that would display in the price block as a discount.
Hmm.
So what if, so this is the manufacturer offer, what if a client wants to do like a lower term?
They can do whatever they want.
They can,
Technically, it doesn't have to be a manufacturer incentive. It's literally 100% manual. So they want to offer a $99 lease on a used car for whatever reason, or whatever they want to do, they can do it.
And they can put in their own fine print, which displays in the pop-up.
Just to correct you on one thing, web services will not be entering these offers, correct? I thought there was a legal problem with us putting in those offers because we would be.
Yeah, that's not on.
I don't know.
Whoever wants to enter them can enter them, as far as I'm concerned. If web services should be entering them, which I know there is some issues with that.
You guys aren't doing that right now, right? And you don't want to have to do that in the future, correct? Okay.
Yeah, the point is he built it extremely user-friendly so that dealers would easily be able to go in here and update their own. Right?
It's very,
Yeah.
I mean, I can show you the Ignite,
That's
but
what we've
it's,
been, when people are doing the offers, they're asking if we can all populate.
Yeah.
Our answer is always no. And we're not going to do that on the basis for any other basis because of the legalities.
right.
All right.
So it was designed to be a customer-facing utility for them to be able to input themselves. The only time it could be inputted automatically would be hopefully when we get them to map automatically from a manufacturer, starting with VW.
That'd be cool.
Second to last one that I have for you is Scion Pure Process Plus. This has been a beast of a project, and it is nearing completion. It's completed. I'm happy to say. So let's take a look. First of all, if you're not familiar with Scion Pure Process Plus, it is Scion's build and price module. And with their preferred vendors like us, AutoFusion, Dealer.com, they have worked with us specifically to integrate this iframe. But the reason why it's been a hefty workload for us is because we built an entirely new portion of Ignite, a couple different pieces of Ignite, in order to allow the dealer to configure their accessories, because a huge portion of the Pure Process Plus module is adding accessories like mud flaps and fog lights and windshield protector. That's when you're building your car. And dealers want to be able to adjust the price of those accessories, and sometimes even add their own custom accessories. So they could have a Briggs Auto license plate cover that you could buy for $7 and actually include in the build and price module. So I'll show you that now. First, a live example. This is what it looks like after you select or enter the module. So this is just a huge iframe. We basically send them our inventory, and they send us back this iframe. And that allows you to, I can install a rear bumper, applique, perhaps I need an ashtray cup. I can customize my sound system, get nicer wheels, and then I can customize my payment and yada, yada. I mean, this is a whole build and price thing that lives on a dealer website. So pretty cool, something Scion's very excited about and is now working on Toyota of Naperville, Scion of Naperville.com with one caveat, and that is, yes, this URL is active, but no, you cannot access any of these pages from the front end. We still need to add the buttons, but programming said that sounds like something support can do. So
We're still deciding. We're still deciding on where that's going.
So anyways, but it's done. I mean, this is done at like just before the new year. We finally kind of finished that up. So that's what the front end looks like. I'd like to work with you, Corey, and you guys to polish up scionofnaperville.com. It'll be a really nice showpiece for us to say, yes, we're one of the few preferred Scion vendors that has successfully integrated the Pure Process Plus module. Here it is. It's going to be really nice for any of your existing Toyota customers that are like, well, we need to be able to do PP Plus on our Scion site. Can you do that? And you can say, why, yes, we can.
So we may make some potentially adaptations to the Scion templates to facilitate a place for this to live. And then on the support side, why programming kind of is attempting to pass it off, is it's extremely simple. So if you look at the URL, it's a static URL with just that one UID basically, which is the UID in this instance, the UID. So all you do is pass the UID into the link from the BDP and it's done.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty simple.
So I go here. Where's the?
You just drag that.
This out of here. If I just, oh my God.
First time.
Well, it's my first time with one of these pressure sensitive. Okay, so if you just were to copy the VUID and then slap it into this URL, it's going to give me a new iframe with this vehicle and all of its optional accessories. Now, let's look at the Ignite portion of this. Which one is connected to your Ignite?
Try the dealer fire. I don't know if you've ever mind.
Oh, it's not. I don't have the dealership selector. Or do I?
Here, type into, where is it at?
It is under configuration, manage accessories.
That should pop up there. There you
Okay, okay, nice. Okay, so this is a new interface we created within Ignite to allow you to manage all of the accessories that could appear within that module. I'll dive into Scion of Naperville's real quick so you can see exactly how it works. Notice as I'm looking at accessories here, I can only view them because I'm not logged into a Scion site with this enabled. Once I select Scion of Naperville, you notice that this Add Accessory button appeared. So from here, this little interface, you're used to seeing it on inventory, everything else. You see all the basics, whether or not it's an OEM or dealer accessory, whether or not it has disclaimers, whether or not the dealer has entered a custom disclaimer, and if it's a PB Plus enabled Scion site, I can add my own accessory. I can give it a name, upload an image. I can say whether or not it's sound, wheels, whatever. It automatically assigns a code which is necessary for it to work. I can select which model it's available for, how much I want it to cost. I can put in price disclaimers. If I don't know the disclaimer, I can select from an existing pool of Scion disclaimers. So you can see why it took us a while. Pretty cool. And then that can appear within that module that we just showed. Another cool option is I can go into a specific car in inventory. I'll just do it real quick. Let's find Scion. And there's a new tab for Scion accessories, and I can see which accessories are installed on this vehicle. So let's say, for instance, I have a car in inventory, a Scion, and I've added a couple custom dealer accessories, like a license plate cover and Briggs Auto mud flaps, right? And I want to say, hey, this car already has these accessories. The user shouldn't be able to add them. They're already pre-installed. That's where you go to do this. You go into inventory. You would see the custom dealer accessories the dealer has not added any, there are not. If I want to add some, I can do that here. And then I would say, check, check, check. These are pre-installed on this vehicle, so don't allow the user to double add a license plate cover. So that is Scion PP Plus. It's done. It works. It's tested. Scion has approved it. We just need to add some buttons. Yeah. So
That has to go through account management too, since they're going to be training the dealer, I'm guessing, on the.
They should be on. I think Jesse, are you on the call? Hopefully Jesse's on the call and Leif is invited. So from there, they should be able to run with it. But yeah, they'll have to.
So that's something new we're going to have to cover with all the side.
Well, and
if they're enrolled, right?
Keep in mind, yeah, one, they have to be enrolled in PP Plus, and two, it's pretty funny. We built all this, and it took a long time, and it's real robust to be able to add custom accessories, have them pre-installed on vehicles, yada, yada. But how many dealers do you know that are going to actually add custom accessories to Scion files? Like, probably none, right? So it's there, but as far as like the added training for this, we're going to have maybe 2 dealers using it, and maybe one of them will need to add custom accessories. So it doesn't need to be like part of the core Scion training.
Sells PP Plus, is that coming directly from Scion?
Yeah, that's within the Scion OEM program themselves. We'll cut again using the readiness team and Jason. We'll cut a documentation, maybe a video about how to use it, so we can easily.
The only time we ever run into people on the accessories page with different pricing levels.
Yeah.
People up.
Yes, and you can change prices. So the OEM has like an MSRP for every accessory, and the dealer has the ability to raise the price.
And that's probably what, John, 1 out of every 4 raises their accessories pricing.
I've never had it happen before.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Anyways,
Time to work.
that's PP Plus. About 8 months in the making. Oh, thanks, whoever's clapping.
Corey. That's Greg clapping. That's me.
Thanks, Greg.
Nice job, guys.
This is the last project we have to show you this time. It's an OEM one we did for Volkswagen. This is actually pretty cool. Competitive advantage. Basically, you go to a service page on a Volkswagen site, and this grid of prices for your competitors, that dealer's competitors, is automatically populated on the service page. And the way that works is via an API call. If the Volkswagen dealer is enrolled in this competitive advantage plan, the API call returns a bunch of data via is it pronounced JSON?
Yeah.
Okay. JSON query or something. It's just a bunch of data, and then we style it up, make it look pretty, and slap it on the page. By default, Volkswagen dealers will have this installed. The API call is actually checking to see, are they not enrolled, and if they're not, then we'll remove this. But it is styled nice and clean. We can look at a dev site. So this is a real competitor. You see, this is relevant to some dealer ID that we've inputted for the API call to work, but it picks local competitors and then pulls their prices so that the customer can see, wow, Speedcraft Volkswagen really does have the lowest best price, except for Finn's Automotive. But that's on shift in Volkswagen. If they want to display it, that's fine. But yeah,
they probably do on the backside, right?
Yeah.
So this isn't controlled by us. All the data flows through the web service. All we're basically doing is saying, if they're enrolled, tell us, and we'll display whatever you have. So there's probably a management interface via Shift or via some other third-party company.
Where they select
Yeah,
their competitors.
exactly.
Because there is always 6 columns and 4 competitors. So it's always 4. I would imagine that's configurable, but that all does not fall in our court.
Hey guys, help me with this. Why would Midas and Fins want to show their servicing pricing? And I mean, I hear you say it comes through the API, but is that a dealer fire aggregation, or does this happen?
No, I'm guessing there's a third party. I mean, I know there's a third
Shift.
party that actually aggregates the data. So I'm guessing Midas isn't feeding them the pricing. There's a service that someone's offering that's actually going out, finding the pricing matrix, entering it into a database, and they're just feeding us the data.
That's why a dealer has to actually enroll in this service. It's an added product that they go and say, oh yeah, that looks really cool. I want to show competitive pricing on my services because I've got great prices. So then they work with Shift to pick their competitors and get the prices ported in. And obviously, as you can see in this example, these NAs, they're not doing a great job of filling them all. But
Yeah, exactly. So again, we get no cut of this. We just had to, as a requirement of the program, facilitate the displaying of the data that they send us. So that's why we did it.
Cool.
Is this going to be part of one of the existing packages, or is this in a?
it's called an after sales page. So it is not part of an existing package. It's an after sales.
Okay, so we won't see this pre-launch. It'll be supported.
We shouldn't. And again, I think
You
we'll
won't
probably
need
add
to.
it to the theme. And so in addition to the API actually receiving the data and then displaying it, what we're doing is we created almost like a cron or a JSON that goes out into a feed that we get. And it says, if the dealer is enrolled in this program, then display the page. So there's no manual work whatsoever. We're actually creating this manually. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's the first of its kind. So now with the VW, I mean, for Dealer Fire, it's going to help scale a lot of things. So VW specifically will sends us a feed on a daily basis that says, here's all the dealers that you should have, and here's all the things that they should be enrolled in. And so now instead of having to check that in support and go through and manually add these, we're building that web service that says, if they're enrolled, then just display it, like do it automatically.
Okay. Is this going to be updated locally on the Volkswagen?
Yeah, it just runs all the time. It's like, again, it's like,
No, I mean on the existing ones.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That feed contains, it's not like they don't just send that feed when they come over to us. They send that feed to us every day.
Right, I understand.
Yep.
I was just talking about the ability to include it on the website, since we're going to have to retrofit an existing Volkswagen sets with that ability.
Yeah, but you don't even need to. Again, that's what the build out was for this project, was to take that feed and just apply it to any website that we have on our platform. There's no manual anything; it just does it.
Good enough.
Did somebody have a question on the line?
Brad was saying something.
Yeah, I had a question. So a couple questions. One is what determines which services are displayed there? You got like 5 on there, but there's millions of things that could potentially get serviced. Is it always going to be just it's kind of a 5 set of standard basic service kind of things that most people do?
Again, it's just like the competitors that are sent to us. We just take the data that is sent in the JSON file and it just spit it out into this matrix and make it look pretty and style it into blue cells and so forth. So we have absolutely no ability to customize anything inside the box. You
don't really know what's going to come up, whether it's going to be a full service oil change, a spark plug, or I wonder how standardized those are. And the reason why I bring that up is just shortly above there, you've got a little link that says schedule service. And one of the things that you may not be aware, but you can do with our service scheduler is if you made that full service oil change a hyperlink, so say the customer really wanted to do that oil service, you could make that a hyperlink that would take you directly into the service scheduling, and we could attach an opcode at the end of that hyperlink so that when they got to the service scheduling app, that opcode would already be preloaded with that price of $69, which is kind of a cool convenience. It makes it really easy for the customer to say, oh, I just want to get that thing done. And then directly in, all they got to do is pick their time and so forth. So just a little FYI, think about better ways to integrate the service scheduling in. Anytime you have an ad or a service specials, those service special ads, those hyperlinks can have an opcode tied to them that would pre-fill that line item in a service scheduler.
Yeah, if we could find a VW dealer who's on Service Scheduler / CRM and website, we could certainly test that out and pilot it. I'm thinking like maybe Capo Volkswagen might be on the Service Scheduler, but it's certainly doable, right? It's something we just write into there with a link.
Leif, can you hear us now? Okay.
Yes.
Nice. But yeah, that's a cool idea, Brad. We'd need everybody enrolled in all the services, including competitive advantage, and we'd have to talk to Shift with whether or not we can begin to customize what's displayed inside there. But
I think we have to tell them.
Yeah.
We'd have to come up with logic to know, to Brad's point, we don't know what these are going to be.
Right.
So we'd have to know with regularity what they're going to send us and then write a set link and pull in the opcode. So, but it's certainly something to look into and could be doable.
Yeah, and this may not be the best place to really implement that smart hyperlink, but I know you guys got other pages that have service specials on there and people can put their own up. That would be maybe a better place for it, but
service mock-up for the multi-step actually did that within our system. So if you clicked on a special, it would send over the coupon details on it. So if you see a nice, I'm not sure if they're installed on here now.
That's a cool idea.
A coupon, to click the coupon and you could schedule service with the opcode and the discounted price right in there.
Yeah, we built that
That's pretty
a
cool.
little while back. We need to.
But yeah,
make an enhancement.
that's always the next.
Cool. All right.
Hey, Brad, we could get into more details later, but for the service scheduler, are they using the same DealerSocket site ID that you would use for the CRM, or is that a different ID?
same one.
So we already have the connection because we'd have for Crossfire essentially have the same IDs, so that'd be an easy update.
Well, normally when we give the hyperlink to you, it's all got that ID embedded in the hyperlink we give you, and you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
So that's what we got for you this month. Hope it was of value to you all. I'd like to open it up. Any questions, feedback, critique, or requests?
Spanish.
Yeah.
We did refine that story now after all that.
You did.
Yeah.
I thought you guys presented it.
Yeah, I think Drew had brought it up a lot, like this last sprint review perhaps, so that's in the queue now.
So the main two notes I have, just to recap, are Russ, your earlier point on Genevieve's stuff, preview pages on Dev within Ignite. And then Corey, you mentioned that we'll have to include the full trim level in recently viewed in order to stay compliant. So
Yeah, the preview pages aren't going to be available until we do Engine 6.
Most likely, yeah. We can look into it, but it's just,
you'd have to pull the stuff from Builder.
Well, then
that's exactly what we're not doing.
Corey, you would be the lone guy who's given us 2 for 2 on feedback that we actually have to do. If you remember last month, Corey told us that zip codes are different in Canada and that our zip code entry on all forms would break every Canadian contact form. So thank you for that, Corey. And then this compliance issue on recently viewed is also helpful. So.
Cool. If there's nothing else, thanks for joining. Again, hit us up if you have any ideas, needs, concerns, questions at any time. Other than that, have a good day. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.